Welcome to the Bulletproof Podcast. Hope you're having a fantastic day. How are you doing today? This episode is going to be around something that I find absolutely fascinating in terms of addiction. And I literally help clients every day with addiction, but it's particularly around cocaine. And it's when people say they don't have anything wrong in their childhood, so therefore, why are they an addict? Or maybe they went to a therapist and the therapist said, have you got anything in their childhood? And they said, no, nothing. There was no abuse. There was no violence. There was no, X, Y, or Z that's happened. And so then why am I addicted? Well, in this episode, I'm going to give you my 2 cents, whatever's that word to you. Maybe it's 3 cents as you're on YouTube. But with that being said, let's delve into it. If you are watching this, it's not a watching episode. If you're listening, fantastic. Watching, stretch, walk, go on a drive, hike. That's a great opportunity for watching/listening to these episodes. Download the Bulletproof Recovery app on the App Store, Android and Apple, and you will get a sober tracker to help you on your recovery journey. My best-selling book, and there's a free resource in the description. So let's delve into this episode. So you don't have something in your childhood that points to you being traumatized to where your life is dramatically changed, and now this is the reason why you're addicted. What do we do in this instance? Well, in my case, let me play out something that, I don't know if you've ever heard of Dr. Gabor Mate, who is a leading psychologist in addiction, 100%, fantastic. He's like 80 years old now, I think, but he's, dedicated over 50, maybe even 60 years at this stage towards addiction. So he's definitely going to know a thing or two, and I absolutely agree with his thing or two. So one of his key principles, and I will happily lean into this to make more sense for you, you've got big T's, you've got small T's. Now, he might say or describe it a little bit different to me, but big T's. Your whole family dies in a plane crash, you were sexually abused, your family was all against you, you watch someone die in front of you, These are all very devastating stuff that happens. Very, very, like PTSD, you're in war, etc., etc., etc. Big T's. But then you've also got small T's. So big T's, you don't have those in your life, as you mentioned, as you say that it's not like, I don't have any of that in my life, so why am I addicted? Well, the small T's. The small T's might be an example of what we could say would be a reason for why it is this way. So imagine if you just look over your timeline of your life, things happen all of the time. And our memory is fantastic. So what am I pointing at here? When I work with clients, I work with a thing called the conscious and subconscious. Very normal, the inside, the outside, the ego, the superego, the devil, the angel. We've got all of these aphorisms for the same thing, but it's the same thing. In the back of my mind, in the back of your mind, we've got imagination, we've got memory, we've got perception, we've got attitude, we've got personality, we've got positive, we've got negative, we've got trauma, we've got all of that in the back of the mind right now. Right? So it's not like you're listening to me and that's it. Like there's literally a lot of stuff going in the back of my mind that's happening, processing. You're processing this information. You're comprehending this information. So there's a lot of data that's happening behind this listening voice that you're listening to me in. There's a lot of stuff being comprehended. Your bodily functions, growing hair, moving my lips right now. I'm not conscious of this. I'm not thinking about these things. So my subconscious is taking control of that. So now I'm talking about subconscious. And if you look at the small T's over a period of time, let's say the first time you were 8 years old and you were playing football or you were cleaning the house, right? And you got laughed at by your parents. You got laughed at for cleaning the house. Oh, look at him, he's cleaning the house, right? Look, wow, he's cleaning the house. Or you're on the football pitch and go, oh my God, you're such a girl on the football pitch. Why are you doing this? So you look at you. You're being a joker on the pitch. Simple joke, simple laughter. But the brain maybe at that age didn't process it in that way of a joke. Maybe you processed it in a way where it's you're crazy. Maybe you processed it in the way of, look, you're abnormal. Maybe you processed it in the way of like, you shouldn't do this because you're being made a fool of. Fast forward to 14. You were out on the road with your friends. You get rejected by a girl in front of all the lads, in front of all the girls. Right, and then that in moment spurs the idea where you're not good enough, right? That little second of rejection, quote unquote, which you don't even remember, right? It's just stored as a you're not good enough thought process, right? And you're an embarrassment. Again, I'm talking about all these things in the subconscious mind where your memory is, where your perceptions is, where your traumas are. So we've got a backlog of not good enough, rejected, stress, pressure, laughed at, joked at, didn't get good in school, did or didn't, got like bullied, all of those things, your brain might be have stored those in the moment as you're not good enough. That's a simplistic one word, you're not good enough, but let's put all of those things into the bracket. You could also say like, you're not good enough. Like you're not good enough actually covers so much of a big category there. Holy goodness, I'm saying like your embarrassment, that also goes into you're not good enough. Right? Your failure, that also goes into you're not good enough. So basically going into that emphasis of that word, but let's try to take you're not good enough off the table. You're an embarrassment, you're a failure, you can never do it. My mind keeps going to you're not good enough. It's all of these small compounded actions and events have built up, quote unquote. So then what happens? One day you're out drinking a few drinks. Cocaine starts out as a party drug. You go then, take the substance for once with the lads, with the crew, with the people you trust, you respect, you want to be around, you want to be loved, you want to be respected. So of course you're going to go out and do it with those people. You do it with those people, then you never intended ever for you to be in a CA meeting in the future. You never intended for yourself to be dry sniffing on your own. You never intended for yourself to be drug driving in the future. You never intended for any of that. You said you'd never do drugs at 13. You said you'd never get a tattoo at 13 maybe. I don't know, maybe you said you'd always get them. But, it escalates massively. It escalates massively. So imagine there's an undertone in you that you don't feel you're good enough. Imagine that. I'm not saying it's true. I'm just saying imagine that. Imagine that there's a voice inside of you that thinks that they need to get some help. They need to get bigger. They need to get better. They're not seen by the world. They're not loved by the world, right? And they're not loved by the world because they believe they're not loved by the world, that person. So then we go take cocaine. Then we go take ecstasy. Then we go take ketamine. Then we go take this alcohol. We take these substances. What happens? We have a surge of dopamine, we have a surge of hype, serotonin, we have a surge of like joy and happiness. We have less inhibitions, less care. So now we're running around, we're having fun, we're talking crap, we're all things are off the table. All my limits, all my doubts, all my insecurities, all my fears are off the table. I've taken this thing, I've been now reinforced with strength, power, confidence, status. So I'm lacking all of these things when I'm sober. Power, confidence, status. I'm lacking all those things when I'm sober. Then I take cocaine and I feel electric, happy, positive, upbeat, confident, powerful, status, etc., etc., etc. Sober me down here, on drugs me up here. I take it. Again, starts out as party drug, eventually escalates to where you're doing it every day. And when you're doing it every day, you're not getting the same feelings. You're literally not even getting power. You're not getting status. You're getting shame. You're getting guilt. You're getting regret. That's towards the end. So it's not about like at the end. It's actually why did you start in the first place? And the ideas would be from what I've just mentioned: 8 being laughed at, 10 being rejected, 12 getting bad grades, 14 your teacher said you'll never make it. 16, your best friend leaves the country. You felt abandoned. You felt hopeless. 18, your heart got broken. And all of those things. Hearing you sit like every single client I deal with sits there very rational. They know they don't want to take cocaine. They don't know why they're addicted. And they would say to me, you would say to you, that those things are in the past, they don't matter. And honestly, that's a limiting belief that you'd say to yourself. Some of them don't matter. But if I ask you to remember any time where you felt abandoned, where you felt traumatized, where you felt fearful, where you felt stressed, where you felt unloved, where you felt not good enough, there's memories coming up in your mind right now as I'm saying that. There's a reason why that specific memory is coming up in your mind. I'm not saying that's the end all be all, that's the cure. But when I'm saying that, there's stuff that's associated with those phrases. And when there's stuff associated with those phrases, you can rewire those to be where they're not any of those things anymore. And when you rewire those, then you feel much better about today. You don't feel in the past, you feel much better in yourself today. All right? The point being, your old identity is stored as not good enough, not loved. We need to create the new identity where you are loved, and then you don't need drugs anymore. Then you don't need substances. Then you don't need stimulants. Then you don't need opiates. All right? So Big T's, you don't have it in your life. It's fine. Small T's, you definitely have. Every single person has. If you're not taking substances, you've probably processed those things very healthily. If you are taking substances, you probably not only didn't process them well, but you found a better coping mechanism. I say better with a bunny ears quotation word because it's not really better, but it was like the opposite. So you weren't loved, now you took cocaine, and you were loved by everyone because you had the bag. So you were the kingpin, you were the special person because you were the bag, and you've been crying out for that all your life, to be the special person, whatever that means. The bag gives you the special person, so now it's linked up in your mind as this is the savior, this is the best thing ever. So you need new coping strategies, you also need new memories, and you need to aka reprogram, recondition, rewire, whatever you want to call it. With that being said, hope that helps. Have a beautiful, blessed day. On this beautiful, blessed day, book, app, resource is going to be in the description. Get the app on the App Store. You can even join the school community where there's more detailed videos about changing your addiction. All right. So have a beautiful, blessed day. Like I said, you're amazing. Remember that. And I look forward to seeing you next episode. Thank you.